Hello everybody, I'm standing outside a police station. In truth, I told you last week that we'd gone to court to successfully challenge the government to provide alternative energy for police stations, for hospitals, for schools during load shedding. Much to my shock and horror, Minister Pravin Gordhan, yes you sir, decided that that decision that was granted by the court that must be so is irrational. You are challenging it and you are going back to court to say that right for citizens to be safe, to study and to be healthy should not be a right upheld by your government. So Minister Pravin Gordhan, I want to tell you straight sir, that next time a child dies in hospital because ultimately incubators are not working, that next time crime goes up during load shedding, and that in fact children cannot study during load shedding, it's on your hands. You and your government are insisting that even in these difficult times, you will not provide alternative energy for police stations. Here's what disturbs me the most though, is that when ministers of your government, your fellow colleagues, wanted alternative energy for their mansions, for their places of state, the government found the money, provided for it, built in all the ministerial residences, have put alternative energy. One day history may recall that when the people cried out for help, you opposed them and even opposed them in court. But when your colleagues inside your own government demanded alternative energy, you stood with them. You, sir, are becoming a friend of your fellow politician and ultimately against the people of this country.
Hey everybody. I hope you guys are doing super good on this cold winter's day. Now my name is Pamiti and you are always welcome to my channel. Now today I'd like us to look at another long-term minister that has been within the ANC and that is currently also out with Bheki Cele, out with Minister Naledi Pandor. We are speaking about Minister Pravin Gordhan.
I'm the minister responsible for Eskom, and we have discussed corruption and the involvement of various people, not necessarily by name, in corruption in one form or another. As far as my understanding of the law is concerned, I can't just arbitrarily point to someone and say that person is involved in whatever the suggestion is about either being corrupt or involved in corruption. The issue here is, as I said in Parliament last week, we cannot rely on rumor, suspicion, or even what a certain publication calls intelligence. There's a distinction between that and evidence. If Mr. Director has the evidence, which I don't know, he must take the initiative now and do that which is legally required of him.
Now, in all honesty, most state-owned entities or state-managed and run entities, they are not working well. They are malfunctional. And Mr. Pravin has some answering to do since it's his department.
Do you regret anything at all about how Eskom was handled over the past few years, especially when you look at how it contributed to the economy?
Well, I wish state capture hadn't happened.
But I mean, under the past few years as the Minister of Public Enterprises, I mean, are there things that you wish you could have done?
Yeah, I wish that the National Prosecuting Authority had locked up more people who were guilty of damaging the organization, because there are still individuals who are interfering and they need to be dealt with.
Still to this day within Eskom?
Yes.
So then how can you confidently say that things will change if there is still, what's your expectation for when we'll actually see the full implementation of Eskom being divided up into its various
well, the first piece of work has been done already in terms of the transmission company. Excuse me. So in the next 6 months you'll hear, I think, the right kind of indicators about the way forward.
You don't see a return to stage 8, stage 7 load shedding?
No.
You think those days are behind us?
We only got to stage 8 once or twice.
for. I also want to ask you about SAA, because I know that was also something that was very important as you were our Minister of Public Enterprises, but the deal did not end up going through. I mean, what kind of power is it going to take to actually see SAA succeed? Because right now many people are looking at it and a bit confused how it moves forward. How high on the priority list do you think? Because I know you said policy continuity is very important with this next administration. Should SAA's privatization be number one? Should it be Eskom? Should it? I mean, what would you say?
Well, there's no privatization. It's the involvement of the private sector. So on the Eskom side, you already have the private sector on the generation side. And as I pointed out, once the transmission side gets off the ground, you will have the private sector contributing at that level as well. But Eskom as an entity will still remain 100% state-owned. Similarly, on the SAA side, we're looking for equity partnerships. Now, the previous deal was a 51-49% deal. The future administration will reevaluate that and see what's in the best interest of both SAA and the partner that we actually bring on.
But the numbers are not showing up in the economy, right? And investors are waiting to see something to stimulate this economy. I mean, when are some of these changes that you're mentioning going to actually show up in terms of economic growth in South Africa?
This is definitely one where I'm going to reserve my own observations and my own comments. But let's take it to Parliament and see what's said under Pravin Gordhan's name.
I don't know Le Musabani or Honorable Pravin Gordhan. I don't know if he's got a list of impimpis or sellouts of during apartheid, the way you are so scared of him. But he knows and his cohorts that some of us are not scared of him. They've tried it before and we defeated them and will defeat them again.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Ms. Thandi Modise, Chairperson of the National Council
on the point of order, Speaker. On the point of order, Speaker.
What's the point of order?
Can the President please sit down? I'm following the rules.
What's
Speaker.
the point of order?
Can we follow the rules?
What's the point of order?
Can we follow the rules? According to Rule 14C, read alongside 14S. If you read them now, you will realize that President must sit down before I raise the point of order. Please sit down, President. We're going to help you run this parliament. Sit down, President. Follow the rules. We're going to help you. You want to follow the rules and sit down.
Can you find out what is the point of order?
Well, the point of order, Speaker, is that we cannot sit here in this parliament with millions of South Africans watching us when they know that they are in darkness because of one man who has made sure that our state-owned entities are in a state of collapse. Today, Eskom cannot keep light in our houses.
Point of order.
Today, we cannot fly to Durban because there is a minister who is making sure that SAA is dysfunctional.
Point of order.
Today, we sit here with a minister that is working for white monopoly capital, making sure that state-owned entities go to his friends.
Point of order.
We call for an adjournment.
Point of order.
That the president must go outside and make sure that he makes an announcement to the nation.
Can you please sit down?
Pravin Gordhan is no longer a minister of this country. We cannot sit with him. We want to sit with Pravin Gordhan, not here. Pravin Gordhan must go. Pravin Gordhan must go, please.
That's not the point of order. We'll
Point
move
of
on.
order.
With the greatest respect, Madam Speaker, the Constitution is also on our side. Because we are members sworn to the Constitution, we also have a right to partake in these proceedings. I just want to really bring to your attention.
Can I respond to you on that point of the
I will be done in a moment, Speaker. I'll be done. We can't gather like things are normal here when things are abnormal. Pravin Gordhan, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, misled you. He misled you together with another man, and you fire the other man and not fire Pravin Gordhan.
Take your seat.
Please fire Pravin Gordhan now so that we go.
Take your seat. No honorable members.
EFF, if they want to engage you, let's go outside and engage outside. Leave this elderly people, let's go and engage outside.
Let's go, Baba, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Order.
Let's go, let's go, let's
Honorable
go.
members. Honorable members, take your seats. Honorable members, take your seats. No. Honorable members, take your seats. Honorable members, take your seats. You all have a minute to take your seat or march out. Take your seats.
I want to call order.
Honorable Shibambu, take your seat. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members, you clearly do not have any interest in the business of this house today. You are delaying us. You are refusing us to start with the business of the day. Honorable members, there is an input on the floor. Any member who feels they do not want to participate in the proceedings of this joint sitting today, you are free to walk out and allow us and the rest of this country to enjoy the state of the nation. If you choose to sit and do not leave, you will sit and allow us to continue with the decorum of this house so that we can get on with the business of the day. Any other member who will stand up in this house and disrupt, please live in peace. Any member, you are disrupting. No. Honorable Shibambo, what do you understand to be a disruption?
A disruption is when you do not use the rules to make interruptions. An interruption is allowed in terms of the rules that are contained in this book, which guides all of us here now. There are two issues which you cannot overlook, Speaker. One, you have got a semi-literate person who can think and says here, who must go and fight outside the sky.
I'm not entertaining that.
That is one.
No.
And number two, if we cannot find each other here in terms of this, which I propose because we did not have a chief who's forum yesterday, the whips must go outside to come with a solution.
Honorable,
so that we can guide this
can I address you
on what must happen. So
Honorable,
that is a concrete proposal so that we come to guide this house as whips of what should happen. That is the concrete proposal.
Honorable Shibambo, you sit and you let us proceed with the business of today. No, Honorable Malemba, we have had enough.
No, on a point of order. You keep on saying members of parliament are disrupting parliament. When we stand up and speak through you, you cannot call that a disruption. You cannot call our inputs here a disruption. We've got a right to be here. We've got the right to speak here. And that's what we are getting paid for. And we can't, when we execute our responsibility, say, no, we don't have time. We've got all the time. We are getting paid to be here. We've got all the time. The Chief Whip has made a progressive proposal that let's adjourn for 5 minutes.
We're not adjourning.
So that the Chief Whips can talk outside, since there was no Chief Whip forum.
Honorable Malema, please take your seat.
Because this input we're going to make it yesterday
please
in the
take your
Chief
seat.
Whips forum. There was no Chief Whips forum. And
Honorable Malema, take your seat.
Forum, there's nothing we can do.
Honorable Malema, take your seat.
Through the rules. Which rules are you quoting?
I am saying please take your seat.
But guide us through the rules. You are not your kid.
If you do not wish to take your seat, sir, please leave this house. Honorable Mkalipi, I am not taking any further points of orders. You are simply retarding the progress of this house tonight. Honorable Godfrey, I'm not taking your point of order.
Madam Speaker,
you
I've
are
been so
simply
well
retarding
with you
our progress. Take your seat.
We started because
Take your
I
seat.
recognize you so well.
If you do not wish to take your
I'm
seat,
going to take my seat.
I am going to ask that you be held out of this house.
Please, just before that.
No.
Don't be like Mama
Take your
Bear.
seat. Take your seat. No, honorable
Madam
members,
Speaker.
you cannot come here and take away the rights of the rest of this house.
This one has
Because you
taken
think
the rights
it is
of
within
our
your rights.
people to have lights and to
Honorable
fight
Godfrey,
debate.
I will not have
This one.
I will not have dialogue with you. Take your seat.
This one.
Take your seat.
But Madam Speaker,
Take your
there is a
seat.
transgression.
Take your
It's not spurious.
Take your seat.
That
Honorable members, no member has any right to threaten any member. Neither does any member.
Boy, can you please sit down?
Neither does any member have the right to take away and to disadvantage any other member in any other fashion. So, you are not angels because you infringe on the right of all the other members in this house to proceed. And that is why I'm saying I'm not taking any point.
I'd really like to make a plea one more time that we should allow the President to proceed with his State of the Nation address. Honorable President, please proceed.
On the chairperson of the NCOP, on a point of order.
I've not recognized you.
There's no rule yet.
Honorable member.
Party.
Honorable member.
We are treated as members one by one here.
Honorable member, I've not recognized you, so please sit down. Please proceed, Honorable President.
Speaker, I have already said, can you please recognize us? I want us to work according to rules here. We are in Parliament.
Honorable Malima.
An activist parliament.
Honorable